Hello guys and welcome back to Dylan's Little Hobbies, and in today's video we are going to be reviewing none other than Luca. Oh boy, finally guys, they put out a pretty decent and otherwise really great movie. Yes, I am talking about Disney. This is Disney Plus's Luca from Pixar. Now, what can I say about this film? You know, it's really sad because this film kind of went really underneath the radar. I saw almost no trailers for it. And there wasn't a lot of buzz about it. Almost no one was talking about Luca when it was coming out. And it's really sad because when I watched it, I really ended up loving Luca. I really did. It reminds me of another film that they had almost no promotion for, which was Onward. I thought Onward was one of the better Pixar films that has come out in the past couple of years. Better Disney films come out in the past couple of years, and I think Luca is too. And yeah, I'm pretty sure you can tell that I'm not the biggest Disney fan right now. I love Star Wars. I'm not liking what Disney is doing with Star Wars. And then you had Pixar's Soul. Soul is a good movie. It's just not Pixar standards to me. And then you also have the MCU universe. I really like Loki, but I really don't know how the future of the MCU is going to go. It doesn't look good to me right now, but we'll see how it goes in the future. I haven't lost hope on the MCU yet. But then you also have the Disney original film that came out, Raya the Last Dragon. And I'm sorry, it's the first Disney film. I even saw Moana. I liked Moana. This is the first Disney film that I had no interest in seeing, Raya the Last Dragon. Haven't seen it yet, still never going to see it. And not only that, but then you also have their stupid remakes, man. I am not a fan of their remakes. But I am a fan of Luca. Let's go ahead and get into why I'm a fan of Luca. The reason why is honestly because it has a great story, and it has the ability to basically make you feel for the characters. I don't feel like I feel for many of the characters within Disney properties anymore. I really did like Luca because it was able to really make me care for the characters in this movie. Now, let's go ahead and get into the story of it, shall we? So, what's it about? And first off, I really like the character designs and the art. It kind of reminds me of, silly enough, like stop motion animation, but a lot more fluent. But what I mean by that is just the character designs. But then again, the very rounded edge of the character designs. That's really become a common trend when it comes to movies, is to have a very rounded edge. And I don't know, even though I really like the design, I don't know if that's really the best part of the movie. To me, the best part of the movie really is the story, so let's get into that. Now, when it first started, I was a little bit worried about it, a little bit hesitant about it, because we actually had Luca. It almost felt like a little retelling of Mermaid. And what I mean by that is Luca is a sea monster, and his parents say never go above the sea because there's humans and they will kill monsters, and he's frightened of humans because of that. But he always has an interest to go above the sea and see what's up there, see the human world. And eventually he finds he's a fish farmer. I actually like that. So he's a little bit of a sheep farmer, except the sheep farmer are fish, so he's a fish farmer. And while working in the fields one day, he finds artifacts, I'm gonna call them, from the human world, from people dropping stuff from the boats into the sea, much like what happens with the Little Mermaid. And he starts collecting them, Of course, the mermaid has a whole bunch more stuff than he has, and she has like forks and uh, doohickeys and all that. He's got like a clock. That's all he pretty much has. Uh, but then he actually finds Alberto, which is another sea monster that lives above the sea. And Alberto eventually convinces him, well, doesn't convince him, he actually just pulls him up out of the water. It turns out that when they're on land, they're able to turn from sea monster into human when they dry out, which that's interesting. And Alberto, and you know what? I know what you're gonna think of that. You're like, why is that? There has to be an explanation. No, there hasn't be. I actually like the fact that we don't know that. It's just magic. You know, I like the fact that it's just a part of the movie and they don't explain why, you know? Not everything in movies have to be explained. I liked the idea that it's just magic, that the monsters are just able to do this. It's just part of their biology. You know, I like that. Makes them be able to blend in much easier, obviously. And Alberto lives above the sea in a tower with a whole bunch of little items, including a picture of a, and I'm probably gonna pronounce this wrong, a Vespa? 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 It's a skewer. And the idea that they get in their heads is that if they get a Vespa, a skewer, they'll be able to go all around the world. And I really liked, I really laughed at their, well, mostly Luca's little visions of riding a Vespa. That was fun. And I really also liked that moment where he visions himself going up above the ground, but then the water is keeping him from going above it because he's scared to touch the human world. I thought that was actually really creative. And that's something I'm missing from Disney movies. Creativity. You know, inspiration. And of course, heart. A good story, you know? We don't need everything explained. We just need a good, heartfelt story. And that's what I end up getting from this movie. So, yes, Alberto and him, they actually build their own Vespa and they play with it. They jump into the water all the time and having the best day of their lives. And then their Luca's parents find out. And eventually what happens is Luca's parents decide that because they don't want Luca getting into trouble, to send them to the deep sea with his crazy uncle. Which I really liked the uncle design as well. He's designed after a fish that would live deep underneath the sea. I really liked that. It was interesting. But yeah, eventually he goes back to Alberto, tells him about it, and Alberto comes up with the idea, well, let's just go to the human world. Yes, they're above ground, but they're not near the port side where the humans live. Alberto's island is on like a little island away from the human world. So they go there, and it's taking place in, yes, Italy. And I love the fact that Alberto, because of what he thinks his dad told him, he thinks he knows everything about the world above the sea. And it actually turns out that he doesn't really know anything about being a human. I like that. But I also liked the scene where our boy Luca was learning how to walk thanks to Alberto. I really liked that, and I like the fact that these two become friends very easily throughout the movie. Now, eventually, yes, we have this bully character. I don't even remember his name. He was your average bully character in every single movie. I mean, he was a jerk. That was about it. But the idea is that apparently they want to get a Vespa, and the reason why is because they want to go anywhere they want throughout the world. And the only way to get a Vespa is to win this race. If they win the race, they get the money and they're able to spend the money on a Vespa. That's what they think they're going to be able to do. They meet the little girl named Emma, and she wants to win the race to prove herself as a actual good racer, and wants to basically teach that bully a lesson. So eventually they join groups with her and they become great friends. Eventually she actually shows Luca about the world, about science, about teaches him about what the stars really are. Alberto told him that they were fish sleeping in the sky, and no, they're stars. And I like the fact that Luca wants to learn more and more about the human world, and he even asked her if he could go to school with her. I really liked what they were, of course, setting up in this movie. And eventually Alberto doesn't like the fact that he's spending so much time with her and doesn't believe that he knows what he's doing. So eventually, to scare her, he shows that he's a sea monster. And I love that moment where Emma, she's not stupid, and after Luca kind of betrayed them and said sea monster and tried to play it as he wasn't one of them, eventually she figures it out. She's not stupid. As soon as she figured out that he was a monster, it was obvious that Luca was a monster too. So she splashes water on him, proving that he's a monster too, and she tries to talk him out of it, tries to talk him into going home. But then Luca gets the idea, no, I'm going to race anyway and save the day. We're gonna buy a Vespa and I'll fix everything. And I really loved the fact that there was this humongous scene throughout the race where it starts raining and every time they get wet they turn back into sea monsters, right? So eventually Alberto comes and tries to give him a umbrella to save him from proving that he's a monster, and then he unfortunately gets wet and is exposed as a sea monster, and Luca has the choice to either save the day and remain as a human, or reveal himself and save his friend, and reveal himself to be a monster. And he does. I loved that. And eventually, yes, they're all going after them because they are sea monsters. But I like the fact that at the end of the movie, the biggest, the baddest sea monster hunter of them all, which was Emma's dad, he actually came out and said, you know what? These two are good. They're good monsters. You really want to destroy them? And they kind of think, yeah, no, if they're not evil, who cares? And I like that. It was just a simple, basic ending, and that's how they end the movie. And then they end the movie with something that I really thought was amazing. So Emma has to go to school at the end of the movie, so she gets on the train. And we have Luca and Alberto standing there. And remember, they won, right? So they won the race and they bought their Vespa. But Alberto sold the Vespa, sold the scooter, to buy Luca a ticket to go with Emma to school. And I mean, they could have ended this movie like, we're all happy together forever after, but I really kind of like that it ended up being kind of a bittersweet ending. That's not something Disney does a lot with bittersweet endings. I mean, Pixar typically does bittersweet endings. I really liked the ending of this movie. I liked the way that they ended the movie with him going on the train and the promise to come back next summer and hang out and play together. I liked the ending of it. It was a bittersweet ending of Luca actually being separated from his friends and his family, going with Emma to school. Yeah, that's it. That's all I can say. A great movie. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know down in the comments below, what do you think about the movie Luca? I obviously loved it. Thank you guys for watching. I'm out. Bye.